Good morning, everybody. Welcome to One Yard Wednesday. I'm Colleen from GE Designs, and I am so happy to be here today. Wednesday is my favorite day of the week, and this is a pretty spectacular day because we're kicking off the day with One Yard Wednesday, which is my favorite show, and then we also have a certified stripologist workshop going on. So a shout out to the 13 participants in the workshop that are in the classroom right now. And if you listen carefully, you can probably hear them chattering and hooting and waving and smiling. And they are so excited to become certified stripologists. So you will be seeing more of them, I'm sure. Today is One Yard Wednesday, and it's our show where we have fun and creative ideas for fabulous fabrics at fantastic prices. And we have a really spooky collection this morning. Producing today is Mr. GP, there he is. Good morning, GP.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
I love your hat.
Thanks.
And I love how it goes with Aria.
That was the plan.
Way to go, way to go. Very, very on point. And behind me is another version of Aria in a Christmas collection. Aria is one of our newest patterns, and you can get that in PDF or print format at GEQuiltDesigns.com. I can't wait to make an Aria, and I think I'm going to get a class scheduled for Aria, so it gives me a reason to prioritize that in my quilt making queue. So watch for a class in our classroom for Aria. By the way, we did just publish a whole smattering of new classes on a Saturday, in an evening, all days of the week, so check that out in the classroom at GEQuiltDesigns.com. Before we get started, let me remind you that the prices on today's fabrics are $7.99 a yard, which is a fabulous price for quilt shop quality cotton. The prices will go live as soon as the show is finished. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and shop when we're all finished. So before we get started looking at fabrics, we have a question today. Question comes from our very own producer.
So the question is, what are Mr. GP's favorite picks? And I chose Lucy pattern and the ink stash builder bundle. And there it is.
Cool. What do you like about those, GP?
I just like the dark colors and the light together and the contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit of grays, and this is one of my favorite patterns.
What do you like about Lucy?
I like how different it can look based on the fabrics you choose.
Yes, and the layout. Yeah, mm-hmm. Lucy is a chameleon pattern. So
Absolutely.
Cool. Have you made a Lucy yet?
No, I have not.
Not yet. It's on your list, though?
Of course.
Okay, I can't wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, GP. We have so much talent here. It's really fun to hear from the GE crew, and we have a second producer also who joined us. So say good morning to Mr. KP. There he is.
A little bit late.
Here we are. What a team. And hey, listen, thanks everybody for joining us for One Yard Wednesday last week, the two-part show. We appreciate that. And we're looking at all of the information, feedback, and doing some scheming and planning for upcoming One Yard Wednesday. So watch for more. Oh, someone is working on a Lucy. Mm-hmm. Well, shall we look at this fun fabric? Here we go. First up is this black and white print called Creepy Crawly in the Dark. Isn't that spooky? I love these great big crawly spiders. I love the spider webs. It is creepy and crawly. Now this luckily does not glow in the dark. So this would be a fun pillowcase, but wouldn't be a scary pillowcase. I like glow-in-the-dark fabrics, but for someone who's a little or might not like the spiders as much as some other folks who love spiders, not me, this won't wake you up at night and keep you scared. So Creepy Crawly in the Dark is our sort of the star of this scary show. Next up is this fun Harlequin print. This is called Harlequin Black. So black and orange and gray, and it looks real, sort of real grungy. It has a fun texture to it. Love it, love it. Halloween Harlequin Black. Next up, more black and white and spook. This is Scratch and Splatter. This one's called Fright Night. Fright Night. Love it. Isn't that fun? This just looks like a Jackson Pollock painting, doesn't it? Like you just got a big canvas and just started splashing color on there. Love that as well. So even if you aren't a big Halloween fan, which I happen to be, there's lots of blacks and whites in here that would be great for anybody's collection. And then we have Bats Attack Orange. Ooh, look at those bats. Tossed, and actually they look a little bit happy, not scary. So I just, that's a super fun bat print. And then Bats White, so the same bats on a white background. I like the scale of this as well, so you wouldn't have to have a great big block to show off these fun bats. And then we have Harlequin White. Move these over just a little bit so we don't run out of space. Harlequin White isn't this, so again, same print as Harlequin in the black background, and this is also really fun. So these kinds of prints make great great texture to your quilt or your project. They make great bindings because they have so much movement, and bring out all of those grays and blacks and oranges. And then we have Scratch and Splatter Orange. I keep wanting to call this Scratch and Sniff, but I know I can't do Scratch and Sniff. But same print as this one, obviously. Orange background and the black splatter. Love that one. And then a stripe, which we also love in quilts, in projects, as binding. Stripes are so fun. And I know I've said this before, but I love a stripe binding, especially if it's on the bias. How fun would that be? And then another black and white. This is called Frightful Weathered Black. So this is a very cool black, and would make a great, if you're looking for something kind of spooky and black, this would make a great background for some of your quilts. And then finally, the last but not least is Creepy Crawly Black. So let me just see if I can move this whole collection over just a tad. Here's Creepy Crawly Black, which is the same spider print that you see over here, only it's a black background with a very deep gray spider print. Give that a little look-see so you can see those spiders. Not quite as scary as the black and white one, but big old spiders on there as well. So that's the collection today. Frightful, Creepy Crawly. I love this. Sure. The question is, okay, so I didn't actually say that, so thanks for asking, because I looked at that earlier. Frightful is Patrick Lowe's, pardon me? From Northcott by Patrick Lowe's. Yep. So there it is. And they do a nice job, don't they? Our team that does the cutting of fabric know which fabrics are nice, because they do. You all handle them so much. You know which ones cut nicely, which ones are folded nicely, which ones come up off the bolt nicely. So Northcott is a great, one of our great fabric manufacturers. We like them a lot.
Yeah, Northcott's always good.
Northcott's always good. Mm-hmm. So those are our fabrics. Love Frightful, and I think Frightful would be fun in Aria. I might try and get myself some time away to make some Aria blocks very, very soon. Alrighty, so it's time for my notion of the day. I've got a notion. My notion today is Steam-A-Seam 2. I love Steam-A-Seam. I'm going to put this down on the table so you can see the visual of this. So this is Steam-A-Seam 2. It's the light version. We have it in our inventory now in 3-yard lengths, and so you'll get 3 yards by, I think these are 12 inches, right? And then, of course, we have it rolled up with the instructions. So you have everything you need in a couple of languages, which is always handy. So Steam-A-Seam is an iron-on fusible, and let me show you how it works. So Steam-A-Seam is basically a fusible sandwiched between two pieces of paper. And on one side it has a grid, so you can measure out if you'd like. You can use these lines for cutting. You can draw on this, etc. And then you can print or draw the item that you want to fuse onto your paper. Remove the paper and press it onto your fabric, and then you can cut it out. So let me show you how I did this for my project. So I took off one of the papers for the Steam-A-Seam. I pressed it to the wrong side of my creepy crawly black fabric, and then I just went to my Google, I searched bat clip art and came up with a fun bat. I cut it out and laid it on here and traced it. I could have traced it also over here before I cut it out. I could do that too. I have a light table, so I use that a lot. So I do this in different steps, kind of depending on what I'm working on. But today I simply used the cutout of the bat as my template and traced it. And then I'll take my Karen K. Buckley scissors and I'll cut that out. And I won't cut the whole thing out because you don't want to spend your day watching me cut things out. But it's just this easy. And then when I go, once this is finished, I'll just show you how easy this paper comes off. I will pull my paper back. Now it's hard because I've got fingernails. There it is. Give it a little fold, and there's my fusible. Now, what I like about Steam-A-Seam is I can put my bat on my fabric, and it will hold there, like a Post-it note or a sticky note. And if I don't like it here, I can pick it up and I can move it, and I can put it here, and I can that'll stay there until I press it. So it gives me the opportunity, now I should finish my bat, of course, but it gives me the opportunity to put my bat or my applique, wherever I'd like to put it. And then once I know it's in a spot I really like it, then I will press it. I can also take it up, put the paper back on, and set it aside, and it's ready to go. So it's my favorite fusible for applique, rayon applique, for collage, for all those kinds of things. And here's my project for today. So I took my bat on orange and used that as the front of my bag, put a couple of applique, creepy crawly black bats on here, and I did a quilt as you go. I just outline quilted these with a straight stitch through my main fabric and through my soft and stable and through my lining. So these are really quilted. On the back, I took strips of the frightful fabric and I did them wonky on purpose so they looked a little creepy and fun. Box bottom, my bag. I put some webbing handles on the top here, and there's my super cute Halloween bag. Love it. Pardon me? Yes, the inside has the creepy crawly in the dark. Love it. So my technique here, I bound the top as we normally would, and then I bound the inside seams as well. And then I have a really nice looking finished bag. I put a little bit of binding on the ends of my handle, this webbing, and then I just stitch those down. So it's a real easy beginner bag because it's just simply one piece open, quilt as you go, sew the side seams, box your bottoms, and you're ready to go. That's my bag. Do you? Will you take that trick-or-treating?
My trick-or-treating days are done.
Oh, come on. Come on.
If you didn't hear that, Mr. KP said his treating days are done. I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
Not
So
for a
that's my
second.
notion. Any questions at all from anybody, or how are we doing? The name of the Halloween line is Frightful. Thanks for asking. Yeah, Frightful from Northcott. Love it, love it. And it's not glow in the dark. And I love glow in the dark fabrics, but this one is not glow in the dark. And I kind of like this too because I think there'll be some of my littles who would not like a pillowcase with glow in the dark spiders on them. So this one doesn't. Thanks for the questions, everybody. Shall we look at the fabrics one more time?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, we'll start at the end this time with Creepy Crawly Black, and I love this, and I used it for my bats, and it's so creepy and crawly and scary, but so cool. And then Frightful Weathered Black, this one that's just the black and the white, and it's kind of scratchy and very cool looking. Stripe, of course, I love a stripe. I would get this just to put in my stripe collection because I love stripes and I use them a lot. Orange, Scratch and Splatter. I still want to say scratch and sniff, although I know it isn't. Scratch and Splatter. Love it, love it. And then Harlequin White. This one, really fun movement in these diamond shapes. Orange and grays, blacks and whites. And bats, white. There they are. These fun-looking bats, and I took this inspiration for my bag, and these are fun, happy-looking bats. Bats on orange, of course. There they are. And Scratch and Splatter Bright Night. Cool. Great add to any black and white collection. Harlequin Black, so that same harlequin on a black background. And then the star of the show, Frightful Creepy Crawly in the Dark. Love that. Look, I love these great big spider webs. So get yourself ready for Halloween, something scary. You'll be ready to go. And so all your littles have a bag or a pillowcase or something fun for Halloween. So the notion today is, of course, the Steam a Seam Light 2. This is a 3-yard length. It's my very favorite paperback fusible when I'm doing applique. I love that. The pattern that we're showing you today behind KP and behind me and GP and KP both, Aria, and we can't wait to use that either. And then, of course, GP's picks, Lucy and Ink. Thank you. Lucy and Ink by Juicy Juice. So he says you love the grays and the blacks and the darks and the lights. Super cool. There's Juicy Juice and there's Lucy. So that's our show for today. What a fun collection. Get yourself ready for something scary and spooky. In the meantime, grab your Stripology ruler, grab a pattern, grab some fabric, and make yourself something wonderful. We'll see you next Wednesday. I'm Colleen from GE. Thanks for stopping in.